First off, I want to say rest in peace to Moonbin of Astro. His smile was one that just brightened up the world. He had a light that shone on many different people. Rest easy, you will be missed. Hey you guys, Rico here. I don't know how this keeps happening, but trash continues to find its way to Jeju Island. And many Korean people have been having a problem because it's so overwhelming that they once again have proposed this big plan. It's been on the table for a while. They keep pending it, and now they're saying with the trash coming back with the tourists that we might actually start charging people to go to Jeju Island, which is this tourist destination where many Korean people go for honeymoons. People from all over the world come to because it's like a tropical paradise, kind of like Korea's version of Hawaii. And people just enjoy coming there and they enjoy the island and the beach and the sights. But recently, there has been an overabundance of trash. Just like Jeju and the surrounding area has become a famous dumpster.
Started by tourists. Their research shows that there were more than 1,150 tons of trash a day in March last year. The amount of trash has increased by more than 15 tons per day compared to the year before. This makes sense considering the number of tourists also spiked that season with a steep 85.8% on-year increase.
And the Korean government is like, we don't want to do it, but we might do it. We might start charging people. So it's like, we might charge $1. We might charge people $5. If they want to rent a car, $10 for a minivan. Because it's getting to the point that it's not manageable for them to do something about the trash. So one plan was that they were taking the trash and they were concealing it and mushing it down into this block. And the blocks were kind of just in the dumpster waste. And they also had these plants that were, incinerating a lot of the waste. But what had happened once was that it broke, stopped working because it was so much trash. And then all of a sudden, Jeju decided they were going to build a whole new plant to get rid of all of the waste. And most of the time, many Korean people were like, we don't want that in our backyard. We don't want that. It's bad for the environment. We don't want to smell like trash when we go outside. We don't want to smell like trash in the morning. The kimchi smell is strong enough. But the people on Jeju Island welcomed this plant because it's like it's gonna help get rid of some of the waste. So there's been this debate about what can be done to really help tourists and help even Korean people to stop polluting Jeju Island. And I believe that it's a lot of optimism when it comes to this because a lot of people think, you know what, we just put more trash cans. If we just tell people, how recycling works, if we just show people, there's a trash can, there's a person that will help you to kind of manage your trash because East Asia is very much like they're into making sure that everything is managed and put in the right place and in the right bag and that it's, put where it's supposed to be so it goes where it's supposed to be. And I do think that people see this already. I don't think that South Korea needs to do any more with this. People just are lazy to the point that they're sorry. And there are just people that just don't care. They will go to these tropical places, beautiful places, and throw trash all on the beach. Bury the trash in the sand. Throw the trash at the shoreline. And will think nothing else of it. They don't care. Have picnics, leave the trash in the grassy areas, and they're just like, well, trash isn't gonna hurt me. Is it gonna hurt you? Trash is not like a living thing, so I'm just gonna leave it. It's sad because it happens all over the world, but it's getting to the point with Jeju that it is surrounding the island. Jeju-do is going through it right now. They are finding dead sea turtles because they are swallowing the plastic. There's also a location problem with the current where there's trash coming from China and Japan and it's going down the current and it's also surrounding Jeju-do. So it's like, what can they do to make people understand that you are making the problem worse? This is something that they've talked about since 2016, 2018. And I think that they really tried to tiptoe around it because they didn't want it to be like a divide where it's like, oh, you're charging foreigners money and this is some type of discrimination. But no, there really are people that are coming to Jeju-do that are not from South Korea. That are just throwing their trash all over the place, and they're just like, well, whatever, I don't care anything about it. And what's gonna start happening is they're gonna start charging people. I think that they should fine people. If you see someone and you want to make your trash a home on Jeju-do, you can also pay a fine for that home as well. Because it's irresponsible. It's not hard to put your trash in the trash can. I'm not the type of person, I don't care if I have trash in my car, I don't care if I'm eating something. I do not throw my trash just out in the street or in a parking lot because it does hurt the environment. We have so much going on with our environment that it really does not take you long to find a trash can. It's not something that's rocket science. It's not something that it's gonna hurt you to find a trash can. But a lot of people just throw their trash out of the car on the ground. See people that throwing their trash out as they're driving along on the side of the road. I can't tell you how many times I've seen trash bags full of random clothes, random trash, and people just throw it on the side of the road, and it's just like, whatever. It's like, I didn't mean it. It's like, yes, you did. You did mean it. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna make such a wonderful tropical place not be fun, and now it's gonna be more of a strict control of things that people can do and you having to pay. Instead of people in the beginning coming to a vacation spot and just throwing your trash away. We also have the older diving women who it's a tradition that they dive and they find sea creatures and fish and different things on the ocean floor. And these women are getting older and they are even dying because what's happening is they're diving and it's an art to it. They train to do this and they're being trapped by plastic. They're getting trapped down in the ocean floor and they're drowning.
But there are people working hard to preserve this tradition. Ishu has the full story.
In the sea surrounding South Korea's southernmost island, there are women who follow the rules of nature to make a living. They are known as the Haenyeo, or literally sea women of Jeju Island, who harvest seafood from underwater while holding their breath. Without the assistance of oxygen tanks, Haenyeo can only collect as many sea creatures as their breath or swim allows. They also limit the size of their catch like abalone, conch, and sea urchins to preserve the ecosystem. However, the profession is failing to attract young people.
And they're finding too that a lot of these women, they're actually getting older and older and older. There's no younger generation that wants to do this diving because there's just so much risk. And then they're saying too, they're like, Ajima is getting trapped with some type of rope or something and being drowned to death. What makes you think that I want to die at age 20 from that? When I can just go to the store and buy some seafood. I can call Uber Eats to buy some seafood. It's like, it's sad because it all leads back to the same problem. And it's gonna take a while to fix, but every little bit helps. And I do think it's important that no matter where you are in the world, that you keep your environment clean. Because we want the world to be around long after we're gone. We don't want the world to be so polluted that we get to the point where it's to the point of no return, and that scares me a little bit. Because I do feel like that there are certain things that we as humans, have just destroyed. And it's really just us not caring. And it makes me sad that Jeju-do has gotten to this point because it shouldn't have been. And I feel sorry for the people, the locals that live there, because they have to suffer through this every single day, and it's a constant debate of where the waste is gonna go. It's really like just a Korea thing too, where a lot of people think like South Korea is super clean or like Japan is super clean, and it's like that illusion that they have in their mind, and really there's a lot of parts of both places that are not clean. That's a lot of trash. So you guys, this is a lot to really think about, and I think it's important that you take a step back and you think about how you throwing out your trash is affecting a big picture. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also have a blog on East Asian pop culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Put below your opinions about this. How do you feel? Would love to read your comments. I'll see you in the next video.